This mid bass started as a clean 808 sub, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can take a simple sub sine wave and turn it into a nasty, distorted, harmonically rich mid bass that you can use in any type of drum and bass track. I'm also going to be giving away the exact rack that I use in order to make these type of sounds. So let's get right into it. So the first thing is to listen to the actual sub bass on its own, which sounds like this. It's been bounced down. It was created in Serum. If you want to see how the sub was created in Serum, then check the link up above. So here it is, the bounce. It sounds like this. Now you can hear some clicking there. That clicking just comes from the side chaining. And also there's a little bit of retro on here, RC20 retro. This is just giving it a bit of color with the noise here, nothing else. Really subtle, just a bit of texture in the background for the sub. The sub is still really clean, and that's really important for this type of sound. When making these mid basses from a sub, we want our sub to be nice and clean, and we always want our sub to be clean. We can bring out harmonics from it, but we really want a solid, clean sub without too much processing in order to get that weight and maintain that sine wave harmonic that we all know and love. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy this onto another channel. All you need to do is press Alt, drag this down until you see a white line like this. Then you let go, and there you have it. I've already gone ahead and done this, so I'm going to Command and Z that, and I'm going to come down here. Now in here, you can see the rack I've created. So this is the rack. I've already gone ahead and made this, and we're going to go through this step by step in order to see how we can come up with these sounds. So I've gone ahead and I've turned all these plugins off now. So there we go. You can see they're all off, and we're going to go through these plugins one by one and see exactly what each one is doing. So the first two plugins to look at are distortion and EQ. Now, why have I got the EQ before the distortion? Well, the simple fact is I've got a clean signal. That's very important. So I want to start bringing out harmonics from that signal. So what you'll hear here is if we go and solo this and we play this now, on its own without any processing, it sounds like this. Okay, so you can see there's things moving about here. Okay, that's one thing to note. So first of all, let's turn this on. Now what I'm doing here with this EQ is I'm boosting the harmonics that I want to pronounce within the sound. I find that these kind of areas are quite nice for subs because you kind of get the lower harmonics, like the third harmonic can be really nice, the fifth, etc. And you can really boost these harmonics out before you put them in a distortion. And then that's going to change how the distortion reacts to the sound. So first of all, let's listen to it with these harmonics pronounced. So you can see there's some movement here. So if we come over to the automation lane here, now I've used the automation lane just so it's easy for you guys to follow. You can also use the modulators if you're in Ableton. You can also use like the LFO and map it to these parameters, and that will move those about as well. But we're just, to keep it simple and for everyone to be able to follow nice and easily, we're just using these here. So I'm just going to click on this star, and that's going to show me all the modulation that's happening in here. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels, or just 5 channels of modulation here. So let's get into it. So this one here is just doing a simple sweep up and down. They're all just sweeping up and down. A couple of them go up and down, up and down. So this one here is EQ1. So this will be here. The first frequency is going up and down, and the second one is going down, up, down, up. So kind of moving towards each other. And if I play it, you'll see they kind of move together. On its own, nothing too crazy. But if we take it off, you can hear it's bringing out a few harmonics of that sub that weren't there before. And when this goes into the distortion here, let's open the distortion. This distortion has been driven all the way. The dynamics have been pushed up a little bit. It's on overdrive mode. The mix is fully up. That's the only thing that I played with really. And we ended up with, if I turn this off, we just have this. So you can hear that's really driven it a lot. And if we bring in these harmonics that I've pronounced, we get. So not only does it add a little bit of movement with these moving here to the sound, it's also bringing out those tones that are quite nice. But we need to push it further. So what I've done next is I've added another EQ. This one's also moving. This one's doing a simple sweep up and then down, and then that adds this kind of sound. So it's sweeping across the harmonic range, bringing in a variety of harmonics as the sound plays along, which is quite nice. And then I've added, once again, another type of distortion, but this time what I've used is I've used the filter, and I've used the non-linear filter, and I've pushed up the drive, and it's on saturate mode. You could try different modes, and that's given us this type of sound. So we kind of get that with that one. Adds more movement and kind of tames the sound a bit. So now we've lost a bit of that high end, right? So what I've done is I've now pushed some more harmonics up on the slightly higher range here, and then we're adding more distortion afterwards to add more high end in again. But first of all, let's listen to this. Sounds like this. And then with the other distortion back in, and this one's actually in quantized mode, so it adds a really loads of highs. You can see I've pushed a few of these like things here as well. We get this. That's really intense. Let's make it even more intense. So let's bring on the OTT. It's also a free plugin. These are the settings. All I've done is push the downward compression up to, well, down to 43%. It's the only thing I've changed, and we get this. So it's really driven now. I've also added a ring mod, and this ring modulation, all we've done here is just use the frequency, and we've put it into bandpass noise mode here. This is just going to give you a bit of crispiness. So yeah, this just adds, like I say, the mix is down as well. So if I turn the mix all the way up, here it's really crazy, right? So it's about there somewhere. But really subtle kind of crispiness in the background there. And then I've added another filter because now we've got all those tops back out again. We can kind of control them a little bit by adding this, and we get like this, but it's also moving, just to show you. So this is now like a bandpass. You can try different types of filters. Bandpass is really common. I've boosted the EQ of this as well. So I've boosted the resonance in order to get a bit more tone out of this, and it sounds like this. Okay, and we end up with something like that, and we're kind of basically there. So let's go and have a listen to this in context now. So let's just turn the original one off here that's playing. Might also need to turn this down a bit, so I'm kind of guessing here. Let's have a listen from here, see how it sounds in context. Okay, and one other thing you could do is add something like a trance gate here. So let's just turn this on, open this up. So this is playing 16. We could, it sounds like this on its own. Let's just come over here. But what you can do is just turn this mix down and do something like this. Something like that, and you get some quite cool effects with that. In context, it would sound something like this. So that's how I turn an 808 into a usable drum and bass mid-bass every time. Go ahead and grab the rack below in the description, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Peace.